News Radio 840 WHAS. Good Sunday morning. Bob Sokoler, the Louisville Real Estate Show, here with you till the top of the hour. Thanks for joining us on the show today. Chuck Crosby, the Crosby Law Offices. You can reach Chuck and his crew at 499-6360. Also here, Brad Lawler, who owns the Home Team Inspection Service. They're the number one home team inspection service in the country now, 7 years in a row. And you can reach Brad and his team at 844-411-TEAM. My son Greg is here. He's actually, if you're watching the YouTube redirect, I'll give you that URL in a second. You can see him getting into his car and heading out to a listing. Is that your new car that you're getting into?
Yes.
The electric Tesla. So
the electric Tesla.
He just got a Tesla, so good for him. And you can reach me, Bob Sokoler, anytime, day or night, to get your home on the market, or if you want to buy a home, we've got 12 agents plus to help you. You can reach me at 376-5483. And if you want to see a redirect of the radio show on YouTube, we record it on Zoom and use your questions that come in via email. You can go to LouisvilleAnswers.com, LouisvilleAnswers.com. Or in the news, the quick rise in mortgage rates over the past few weeks taken a pause. This past week, the 30-year fixed rate mortgage averaged 5.7%. That's dropping from last week's 5.81%. So people are somewhat on hold right now. Interest rates also on hold. The real estate market is already correcting. According to Fortune magazine, higher home prices and higher mortgage rates rose to the point that demand seized up in many parts of the country, and home prices are already adjusting down. Sellers, please take note. And we could see that continue until consumer confidence and affordability resets itself. Buyers, be note, this may be the time to get out there and find a home and then refi on your mortgage. Inflation's pushing up home building costs at an unprecedented rate. That's according to the Bank of America's Who Builds the House report. I didn't even know they had a Who Builds the House report. Supply chains disruptions and labor shortages are adding pressures to rising prices. And finally, everybody listening, Judy and Ed Crane. Now, imagine they've parked their car in the driveway in front of their San Francisco home. Parking in the Golden City can be tricky with, those steep hills. If you've ever been to San Francisco, you know what I'm talking about. Busy streets, and the Cranes say they're lucky to have had a spot all their own. They've been doing this now 36 years. That is until they received a $1,542 fine for parking on their own property. Imagine this happening here in Louisville, or worse, in old Louisville. You've been parking there for 36 years. Now you're getting a fine with a threat of a $250 per day fee if they didn't get the car off the car pad, which is what it was there for, right? So the couple told the ABC affiliate KGO-TV in San Francisco that the planning department there is enforcing a decades-old code that bans motor vehicles of all kinds from being parked on a car pad or set back in front of a house unless it's accompanied by a garage or cover. So, Chuck, the question starts with you. Is this just a situation where the planning department has run amok? Could this happen here in Louisville and Southern Indiana?
Okay, first off, I used to be a government attorney. I think the story and perhaps the way you read the facts is slightly twisted to make it look like the planning department is run amok. They had the code out there. Whether or not they enforce it is a whole different thing. Mm-hmm. Just because they don't enforce it doesn't mean it's not applicable. Okay? They could also be grandfathered in. The article I read indicated that they were trying to show that they'd been doing this for 30 some odd years, predating that. Right. And if they could, then everything would be cool. They could continue. But they're having a hard time showing that, other than a picture of their daughter from way back when with a bit of a car in the background. The quick answer is all they have to do is put up some sort of covering, one of those little overhangs or whatever, and everything's cool. So is the government running amok? No. Could it happen in Louisville? Of course it could. There's lots of ordinances that are out there that may not be enforced, because manpower could be one reason, timing, not a big issue. That's the way I see it.
Got it. We're back with you in a second. First, let's talk to Brad. Among the emails we got in this week, Jeannie is trying to sell her home, and she's like a lot of people. Jeannie is wondering, and I'm sure as inspectors and going into a lot of homes, you and your people smell these smells, and Jeannie's trying to get rid of pet odors. Sure. Suggestions.
Well, I think the first thing I would say is I would probably not tackle this on my own. There are a lot of products out there. You can go to, any of the local big box pet stores, and you're going to find a lot of odor removal products. The problem is, I think most of those are going to be very short-lived. It's kind of like spraying some of those air fresheners on it. It's going to last for a little while, and then it's going to go away. The problem is that those pet odors get down in carpet fibers, particularly the padding. So if there's any way to remove the padding, that would go a long way. Cleaning the carpets is going to be the very first thing that they need to do. If the carpets are in great shape and they don't want to just go ahead and replace the carpets entirely just to take care of the odor. But that's where the bulk of it is. It's in textiles. It's in a lot of furniture, upholstered furniture will hold on to a lot of smells, a lot of pet smells there. So I think the first thing you need to do is call a competent carpet cleaner, upholstery cleaner, and have them give it a shot. They all have chemicals, things that can be added to the cleaning products to neutralize those odors, and that will have a much longer lasting effect than just some of the spray-on type products that are out there.
One of the things that I would probably recommend that sellers not do would be to cover up those smells with candles or those Glade inserts that
plug-ins.
The plug-ins. They are a clear sign that the seller's got an odor problem and they're trying to cover it up. And
I have a theory that they cause health issues. The scents and the artificial stuff they put in those things, clear out your house, get it natural. I don't know. It's
Greg, one of the things when we're doing indoor air quality testing, particularly with VOCs, I mean, any place that I find, those oil reed diffusers will spike the VOCs. So any of those chemicals that you're using to clean with, those plugins, all of those are giving off VOCs for sure. So if you got sensitivity to any of that, I don't think you really want them, in the air that you're breathing in if you've already, having problems with other health concerns.
It's good points all the way around on that. A quick reminder, if you'd like to sign up for our newsletter, it comes out every 2 weeks. It's free of charge, no obligation. This week's topic, by the way, stage your home with these 5 simple tips. And every 2 weeks, we have a new topic that comes out, plus a lot of other information. Free of charge, go to welovelouisville.com, sign in, and then sign up. welovelouisville.com. It's our newsletter we put out twice per month. All right, back over to you on this, Chuck. So this is this email that we received. I'll call them, I'm going to change the names just to protect them, Jimmy and Dottie. They write in, we received an advertisement in the mail from our bank with someone else's name, a stranger to them, on it. What their address was correct. The ad was trying to get them to open an account with the bank they've already have an account with to go with our new home. They lived there since 2009. His dad's lived in the same house for 18 years before. Some things which may have seemed trivial in years past is concerning us in this day and age. Having said this, my husband heard you speak once on your Sunday program about blocking anyone from being able to access the deed to a home. And I've already followed this matter up by speaking with the bank and the deeds registry in downtown Louisville to no avail. Is there a watch or block that can be put on our deeds? So, Chuck, you and I have talked about this on a regular basis, but this obviously is hitting home with a lot of homeowners throughout our area, probably because of either these emails, letters that the people are getting or watching on TV.
On a fear that is relatively minor. The fact that you get bogus email from a variety of marketers, shoot, I get that all the time. I don't know that would cause me to be concerned about my home title. But the question you just asked was, can you put a block on your title? Mm-hmm. No, there's no such thing.
Okay.
You can't do that. Now, there is a certain group that will advertise themselves using that word, but all they're doing is a Google alert type thing, where if
life block, whatever, one of those bogus, where there's some good stuff out there, but it's similar to that. They think you can lock using the terminology.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. What they do is they put basically like a Google alert against records that are online. So if your name pops up from a county clerk's office, they notify you. That's all they do. They notify you. They don't stop anything. It's like that commercial where, the insurance commercial where the guy's all decked out with weapons and whatnot in the bank, and he's the guard, and he says, "Hey, everybody, we're being robbed." And they look to him and say, "Hey, what are you going to do about it?" He says, "Well, no. I'm just here to tell you you're being robbed." So that's all it is. That's all it is. The fact of the matter is, the FBI says that this particular thing has happened less than 9,000 times in the last couple of years across the entire United States. And of that number, they're probably not all criminal. Okay. And to boot, the fact is that if somebody's going to take your property, I can walk down and write a deed and transfer your property into my name. But what good does that do for me? That's a paper trail a mile long saying, "Hey, this guy just stole some property." If I try and refinance it to get money out and then disappear, well, the two things that come to my mind are all the verification you have to go through to get a refi on a residential home. I don't see that being a real issue to worry about. It would just be too difficult. If you're going to be so sophisticated that you can completely steal a person's identity and go through that process, well, you're pretty sophisticated. I don't think there's anything we can do to stop them. But what about the aftermath? Let's say somebody does do that, and they payments back and the bank comes to foreclose. Well, they can't foreclose on you unless you just let it go. You have to protect yourself. But if a bank were to foreclose, they're foreclosing on an invalid document. A fraudulent title means fraudulent mortgage, means it's not your fault. You're going to win that lawsuit. And then the title insurance that the lender has purchased to protect itself comes into play and pays them off. And then the title insurance company goes against the scammer. Okay, that's if they try and steal it and then refinance it. If they just try and steal it and sell it by cash, well, if you're the buyer, make sure you get title insurance. That's all there is to it. Because you lose that house. It's going to go to the original owner. A counterfeit deed is invalid. All you have to do is a quiet title action. It's relatively simple and relatively quick.
Well, hopefully our folks who wrote this email, we appreciate them, of course, writing, as all of our listeners feel better now.
And by the way, in Jefferson County, the Jefferson County clerk provides that same service for free.
You just simply call Jefferson County and ask them to put you on an alert?
No, it's on their website. It'll follow the process.
Good. All right. Good job, Chuck, on that. That will hopefully set a lot of concerns aside by homeowners throughout our area. We're going to take a break. Brad, you are up on deck when we come back with our next question. Brad Lawler, owner of Home Team Inspection Service, with us, 844-411-TEAM. Chuck Crosby, the Crosby Law Offices, 499-6360. My son Gregor does our marketing, photography, so much more is already out this morning. And you can reach me, Bob Sokoler, anytime on my cell phone to help you get your home on the market at 376-5483, or go to bobsellmyhome.com as well. We're back in a moment on News Radio 840 WHAS. News Radio 840 WHAS, Bob Sokoler, the Louisville Real Estate Show. Thank you, Barbara Corcoran, for your endorsement and your friendship. Here with us, Chuck Crosby, the Crosby Law Offices, 499-6360. Brad Lawler, owner of Home Team Inspection Service, 844-411-TEAM. Also here is my son Greg, who does our marketing and our pictures, photography, and so much more. And you can reach me anytime on my cell phone, 376-5483. That's 376-5483. So, Brad, here's a crazy problem. It sounds like you are on smell detail this show.
Okay.
Gabby says she's got some clothing in storage with mothballs. She brought the clothing to her house as she's getting ready to sell it, and she wanted to organize everything correctly. Now the mothball smell is permeating her closet. Any suggestions on how to get rid of it, or what will it'll create a problem for buyers if they object to that smell? That certainly, I've smelled it. My mom, when she was alive, hated snakes down in Florida, had mothballs in the garage.
Yep.
Yeah, got it.
Naphthalene is what the chemical is, and it is going to linger for a while. I don't know if there is a real quick fix because it's in the clothing. It's so one of the things, if she's got the trunk that those or whatever the box is, anything that's stored in, I would remove that from the area. Obviously, dry cleaning the clothing is going to be the only way to get the smell out of the clothing, and then anything left after that is the residual is going to take a little bit of time to air out. I probably wouldn't close the closet door. I might put a fan on it just to kind of move it around, get the chemicals breaking down a little bit more quickly. But naphthalene's a strong smell, but I think she can get rid of it within a few days. I don't think it's going to linger forever. We had a similar situation in a family house and kind of ran into the same type of issue. And the smell will go away. It won't take that long.
Somebody just sent me a picture of a snake the other day, and I was like, I'm from Florida. We used to put mothballs in the house.
Yep.
I just remember growing up.
Yeah. It's got that smell. That's just that. That's right.
Like
Yep.
Brad, how long do we know at any estimate? I know you said you're not sure. I mean, like a year, less?
No. I don't. I don't. Right. If you're a week or two, I'd be surprised if you're getting airflow on it. Yeah. Just get some airflow on it. It'll break down. But all the contents. If the mothballs been all in amongst the sweaters, it's going to be in the fibers, and it's going to be in the trunks and everything else. It's going to be tough to get rid of.
I'm going to bet more than a week before.
Well, maybe so. But the house, hopefully you can get the smell of the house if you can get the other stuff out.
All right, Chuck, we're coming over to you for this next question. Whitney has a problem with the condo she bought approximately 6 months ago. She sent us an email saying that she noticed that there was mold in the shower several months after she moved into the house. She contacted the homeowner association, asked them to have it fixed, but the homeowner association says it's not their job and she should be going after the seller of the home. Whitney wants to know, since it's been 6 months, is it too late to do anything against the seller? If she can move forward, what's the process? And Brad, we're going to come to you in a second. So, Chuck?
Yeah, first off, the HOA is not going to be responsible for things like that in the unit, unless it's coming from another unit. And then there's the possibility, but they'll always try and step out of that as much as possible. 6 months, that's not too long. Any kind of statute of limitations on that kind of thing is longer than 6 months. So what she needs to do is find out what the real problem is, get a baseline. So get an estimate to repair. That's what your damage is, the amount that it would cost to repair. And then you start talking to the people that knew or should have known that this was an issue when they sold her the property. Maybe the sellers didn't know about it. Maybe somebody missed it when inspecting the property. There's all kinds of different routes to go. But ultimately, if it was something that is actionable, get an attorney, plenty of time.
So the question comes down, and Whitney doesn't say whether she had an inspection or not, but Brad, when inspectors do inspections of homes, they're looking at showers and they're looking for signs of mold, correct?
Well, yeah, but keep in mind that mold can appear in 24 to 48 hours. So you're talking about 6 months later. I'm sitting here going, this is a current issue. So a home inspector wouldn't have probably seen anything. Like Chuck says, is it caused by a neighbor? Is there another cause? Is it simply poor housekeeping? I don't know. You'd have to look at all of the sources, but mold doesn't linger for 6 months and then suddenly pop up, unless the mold spores were there, which, mold is everywhere. It's on us, but it needs water. It needs the moisture, essentially, to allow it to grow. It needs the surface that it can grow on, and then it needs the temperature that it likes. And if all three of those things are present, then mold can grow. But normally, once you take the water away, the mold's not going to continue to grow. So it sounds to me, I would be looking for new sources of water that have appeared. But this is a bathroom, so it's chances are that it's probably getting moist, damp. When showers are taken, is she running the ventilation fans? Is she opening a window? Is she doing the things that she can to reduce the humidity levels, the moisture levels in that room?
Just go back to you for a second, Chuck. Does she get the repairs done prior to?
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So you don't want to let the thing fester.
Yeah.
You want it to take care of it. Okay. All right.
And if it is actionable, that's why I threw that caveat in there, Brad.
Mm-hmm.
If it is actionable, well, then 6 months is plenty of time. But, I gathered from your the question that there was like mold all over the place that, hidden behind things. Plus, you say it could grow 48 hours or whatever. With a cellar, what if it was, from an estate? Nobody's been in the place for a year.
It makes sense. Yeah.
There's all kinds of variables here.
And keep in mind the hidden part there, Chuck, as you said, it's.
No, I know.
So.
But you know how the attorneys, they aren't going to go, well, there was no way that could have been seen. So we're not going to think about that.
Our next question in just a second, just a reminder, if by chance you would like to see some of our reviews, we're very proud of these reviews. We've made it very simple for you. If you go to LouisvilleZillow.com or LouisvilleGoogle.com, that'll take you directly to our review page. You can see some of the reviews that people have said, not only about myself and our team and our agents, and get an idea of what we do and how we do it to help list and sell your home, and also with helping you find your next home. Again, LouisvilleZillow.com or LouisvilleGoogle.com. Moving on, Brett, Charlene bought a home about 5 years ago, planning on selling in a month or two, saying that when she bought her home, the inspectors were from the county and checked everything over. Yet an agent she's interviewing is advising her that the county inspectors may have missed something and she should have had a licensed home inspector look at her home. And she's wondering, is that really necessary? I think this is a question we see a lot from new home buyers.
New construction?
New construction.
Yeah, it sounds like new construction.
Right,
Yeah. So code inspectors are looking at a very small slice of the house. I mean, they are looking at the structure. They're looking at it in different parts of the building process. They're looking at the electrical. They're looking at the plumbing. They're looking at the heating and ventilation system. But what they're not looking at is every other component of the house. So they're going on the builder and the subcontractors to put those things together correctly. You all have heard my stories about the number of homes, new build homes, that we find that the attics haven't been fully insulated or insulated at all. We find like water heaters that have been installed. They have code stickers on them, but clearly they're installed wrong. And what had happened was they were inspected in a different part of the house. A modification was made. The plumber moved the water heater to another part of the basement and installed it incorrectly. So, of course,
and on that point, Brad, just while I'm thinking about it, let me lift the curtain here a little bit, because we deal with a lot of new construction lately, especially with inventory issues. That what Brad just said is that it'll come in and be inspected, and then a modification would be made. Let me tell you how many modifications get made after the inspectors are there, just so that they could get that CO, just so that they could get the inspection that passes the next phase to get the funds released from the bank all the time. So
really?
You bet you need, once before you're closing, after the builder is done, you get that inspected, or even you can do it after you close, get a punch list, depending if you have representation. Your agent will help you walk that through. That's why you always need an agent, not just going directly with the builder. So yes, Brad, continue. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure.
I was gonna say, Greg, that you were kind of leading up to my point too about the 11-month inspection. We do a lot of 11-month inspections before the warranty period expires. Yep. So we're going back in just to make sure that things are still the way that they are, supposed to be, so that the builder can, have some time to take care of them before the expiration. The thing about building a house is the biggest challenge is where one subcontractor's work meets another subcontractor's work. Subcontractors are great, builders are great. The challenge is, think about the HVAC guy that went in and put in all of his ductwork, all of his supplies, and then the flooring guy came in behind him, but the flooring guy forgot to cut out the place for the vent, for the supply, for the air to blow in. Those are the kind of things that a home inspector is going to find when they're doing an inspection.
Just looking for that. Yeah.
Right.
Well, good answers. I think good information. For a reminder to all of our listeners, if you want to see some of the videos that we produce, including this one, the main YouTube channel to go to is LouisvilleHomesTV.com. If you'd like to see a rebroadcast and repeat of the answers that Chuck and Brad and all of us have been talking about, go to LouisvilleAnswers.com. And then one more thing, if you're thinking about selling your home, we have a free no obligation booklet that has hundreds of useful tips. And if you want a copy, again, free, no obligation, simply send me an email, bob@WeSellLouisville.com, and put selling tips in the subject line. We are out of time. My thanks to Brad Lawler, owner of Home Team Inspection Service. You can reach Brad and his team at 844-411-TEAM. Also, Chuck Crosby, who does a phenomenal job getting loans closed, and he does a lot of other things, and we never talk enough about what the other things are. And I know wills, because Chuck's done a will for me, and there are a variety of things. You want to mention one or two? I know it's kind of like off the top of your head that you do.
Just there's so many things that overlap with real estate. Just give me a call. If I don't do it, I know who does.
Who does? Chuck's direct cell phone number is a good guy, 499-6360. And then my son Greg, who does our marketing and photography and so much more. How's the new Tesla Y going?
I will say I was never a Tesla guy. So when I got this, it was about the electric vehicle. But what sold me was the autopilot. And I'm not one of those like, oh, I'm going to let the car drive itself.
Yeah.
No, it's just we got a lot going on. It's a very, very cool feature at the end of the day. It is a very cool feature, and I'm enjoying it very much.
We are out of time. You can reach me anytime, by the way, on my cell phone, 376-5483. That's 376-5483. We can come out, no obligation, talk about what the process is for getting your home on the market and sold. That's it for this week. We'll see you next Sunday right here on News Radio 840 WHAS.